I'm standing over here with Manny from Perfect Predators. And Manny, I've walked around this whole expo. I've looked at a lot of stuff. I've wanted to buy stuff, but you got me.
All right.
You got me. But I want to show people some really special snakes you got. Explain what the Fire Opal is.
Well, the Fire Opal is a combination of 3 genes. They in one expressing itself in one snake. This snake is the Fire Opal. It's got Hypo, which is it's a pretty simple gene. It's codominant. It's less black.
Right. It's a hypomelanistic.
It's a hypomelanistic. It's got albino, which is it's weird to explain, but albino should have no black.
No black.
So
right.
now you got no black and less black, and it's got blood, which obviously means red. Mm-hmm. So it's got red, no black, less black.
But it's the sharp albino.
It's a sharp strain of albino.
Mm-hmm. So this is like kind of like the creme de la creme right now in
it's
the
a
boa
crown
world.
jewel, in the boa world. And as you can see, I mean, how much redder than this can you get? I'm sure 10 years from now we can get there, but for the immediate, we don't know.
Looking at this snake now, where do you go from here? What would you want to even put into this at this point?
Pattern on it. You know, you can look into using some of the variety
like
of patterns
or
are out
like
there.
that?
Jungle, Motley, there's the Aztec.
Right.
You know, there's a variety of things. And that's the other interesting thing about this project is you got a lot of still things you can do where it's not a end project,
sure.
You know? And
now,
it keeps us hobbyists entertained.
What made you decide to use the sharp strain albino as opposed to the call strain albino on these?
You know, the sharp has been more of a reclusive snake. It's not as common in the United States as it is.
And why is that?
You know, I've heard rumors. One rumor was that, you know, obviously Pete Call, who took over his own line, did a lot better with his line than Brian Sharp did. In fact, Brian Sharp sold his line and concentrated on other snakes.
Interesting, yeah.
So when that happens, maybe sometimes you lose, the fans lose steam. But then it picked up again when the Sharp was found to work with other genes, which
like the caramels,
like the caramels, and then all of a sudden the Sharp shot up, and today it seems to be the more popular of the albinos.
And this is probably your number one thing, what your calling card, but you've got some other really cool stuff.
Oh yeah.
Show us some other stuff that like people might be really entertained by.
I like working different things. I found this by accident. If you put the Sharp with the Prodigy caramel and the Motley, it makes this really light-looking Motley.
Wow.
And I wasn't the first to do it, but...
What would you call that?
That's called the Paradise Motley.
So that's the sharp albino combined with the Prodigy caramel, and it creates almost like a super version of it.
Exactly. It's really light. And interestingly, the ones that were produced first by Jeff Ronnie, they're old now. They're like 5 foot, and they're lighter.
They are lighter when they get older.
Which is weird, you know. Usually things get darker.
Right. So these things really, they age well, in other words.
They age well, exactly.
And what would you like to see done with this? Would you put this into the blood?
I like to see, yeah, absolutely. With the blood, I like to see maybe some other patterns thrown in there. I like the way, the Motley works with the Aztec, looks real nice. The Motley with the Key West boa looks real nice. So you can do like a ton of stuff for that as well. But the blood definitely is.
That would be amazing, yeah. Now, you've done some stuff with the Central American boas too, I saw.
Correct.
Over here you did explain what you've done with the El Diablo, because I love the name.
Yeah.
The name is just kick-ass.
It was given the name by a friend of mine out of California named Derek Yagi, because he's the first guy to do it.
Right.
And the unwritten rule in the hobby is if you make it first, you call it whatever you want.
Right. Why is it called the El Diablo, you think?
Because it's red, and I guess most of the times when you see a depiction of the devil, he's red, right?
So rather than a Fire Opal, this is a blood with a Central American T positive.
Which we can see.
Show us the parents what they would look like, kind of.
The T positive from Central America looks like this.
So that's just the pure T positive, which is an albino, a caramel albino, essentially.
Correct. And it's very pink.
Right. It's got some purples in there a little bit too.
Purples, exactly.
And then you bred that.
And then you mix that in with the blood.
With the Central American blood, or is that just a regular blood?
This is Central American blood, which is the regular blood.
You get double hets.
You get double hets.
You breed those together, and then you can get this thing.
Yeah.
So how many years did it take you to produce one?
Oh, man, 8 years.
8-year project, wow.
Yeah, 8 years. And then this is what happens when you breed these two. You make this guy.
I mean, that's just dynamite. That's more red than any of the reds I've seen.
It's almost like a fuchsia, like a hot pink.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah. So the devil's hot pink.
Wow. So I guess it's a good name, El Diablo.
Yeah.
Let me see the keys.
Well, Manny, you're doing some great stuff here. I know
so
you got a lot of customers here, so I'm going to let you get back to it. Thanks a lot for talking to us.
Thank you. Anytime.